We are back. Welcome back to the ONJ YouTube channel. I'm your co-host Jeremiah.
I'm your co-host Orlando.
Welcome back. I hope everyone's having a good day, a good night. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Comment your thoughts on the video. Follow us on all our social medias. Link below. As always, what we got first, Orlando?
NBA Finals. Last time we talked was game one, and the Knicks took it. We're back to talking about game two and game three, which both games were split. We got one for the Knicks, one's for the Spurs. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You gonna say something?
Just so like we're up to game three. Just like we're gonna talk about games two and three, but like, what are your thoughts just up until this point, like of game three? Like, is it a finals? Is this a finals level worthy series? Or is it like is it just under that? Like, just
This
like
is
is it your money's worth? Like, $5,000 seat. Like, are you getting your money's worth? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what? Just your thoughts.
first off. Let me answer your question actually first. I like this series very much. I'm very hype. I think I'm watching these games and I'm like, this is what real basketball is. Like this gives the energy of NBA Finals.
Indeed.
Everybody's playing. They're putting their all on the court. Like you see them playing defense. Um, hard hard defense at times. When they're hitting each other. Like somebody goes up and hit their arm. Some whistles get called, some don't, but that's the name of the game. But everybody's trying. Good defense is being played out there, good offense, and the intensity, just the fact that a team could be down by 10 and you're still at the edge of their seat because in any moment they could come back. And it has happened in this series. We're down by
Hmm.
10 and you can't just forget about the game because you blink your eyes and then they're back tied again. So it's like very exciting.
No, I agree. Yeah, no, this has been, it's everything you said. Um, Very competitive. And it's two different teams, right? You know what I mean? Like you got a young team, in San Antonio, who's like pretty much everybody's under 30. Like most of the players that get core minutes are under 30 for the most part, maybe under 25, give or take, except De'Aaron Fox. You know what I mean? But, you know, primary gun team versus a Knicks team that's, a little bit older. It's kind of has a little bit more continuity, with three college, yeah, three college teammates, you know what I mean? And you still got Cat from last year and you still got OG. So, they have that chemistry. And then, which is kind of works in itself too. But no, I love the competitiveness. Of course, there are some missed calls, like, we'll talk about in game three, the strong, you know, bow to the head. But like, overall though, just looking from games one to three, it's been nothing. It's nothing I can't really complain about. It's been pretty good.
The other thing I want to touch on, you were talking about like, is it worth my money? You were talking about the five K for seats. I think a lot of time when I was watching that game three in New York, that they would pan out to the crowd. I'd be like, damn. So he's rich, he's rich, he's rich,
Yeah,
he's rich. Like, damn, then people got money.
bro. People are like banking all the time. I don't know if you watch on YouTube. It's a whole bunch of people that do food reviews, but this is one dude. I forgot his name. I don't know. I forgot his name. I don't even gonna think about it. But he was literally doing like a food review like at the game. Like, you know what I mean? So he was trying like like it was crazy. Like he like just tried a whole bunch of restaurants at MSG and was just eating. I forgot it's not LA Try Guy because he's different. It's somebody else though. Like it's a food
At
reviewer though.
the
Like
game. So he couldn't go any other time during the regular season. He went during the finals.
they might have invited him to be honest. Who knows? Because he has a big following. So it's like, hey, you know what I mean? Like you could like come and enjoy the game, and then in exchange you get to try some of our foods and introduce our following. Like I don't know though. But yeah,
I'm
it was.
fine. To be honest, if they did invite him, I personally am not a big fan of them inviting people,
Okay.
um, at least like celebrities, just because I feel like think about like the people who were watching the Knicks back when like they drafted Porzingis and it was like Porzingis. I think maybe Melo was there, maybe he wasn't right after he
Tim
left.
Hardaway
But they
Jr.
just a whole bunch of nobodies left on that roster, and they had to suffer through that. And those same people who potentially went to those games suffered through that can't get in to watch the current Knicks because they've been priced out. So to give free tickets to somebody just because they're famous, I never liked that because the true fans, the true regular fans out there were probably missing out on this opportunity.
Because you see the difference, like in price, right? Because like the lowest ticket, I mean, as of right now, it's looking like maybe around 4 or 5K for game four, and then like, but then you go down to San Antonio, it's like $1,000, which is still a lot of money. But I mean, 1,000 is way less than 5K. So it's like it's interesting, like the two different markets. You know what I mean? Like I guess San Antonio doesn't really, even though it is the finals, like San Antonio still is not able to like charge that 5K that what I mean MSG is able to charge. But no, I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, it is interesting. I'm curious to see like if he, I mean, because he could have bought the tickets and then just used it as like in a meeting or something like that. It's like
Back right off.
yeah, like a write-off, like you know what I mean, like because it technically it is work. I mean, because he's doing food
Yeah.
reviews. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, no, I mean it has been a great series so far though. Yeah, what are your thoughts just on I don't know, how should we do it? Should we just come I guess game two, we just go game by game. Like, what are your thoughts on game two? I mean, it was a 1-pointer. Knicks got the win, 105 to 104. Did anybody stand out to you or, just what are your thoughts on the game?
Well, I'm gonna go. I think I'm just gonna go straight to the moment,
Mm-hmm.
the critical moment of the game. Um, and it was that pass, that late pass by Wemby out to the back of Castle's head,
Right.
or his back.
What
Um,
do they teach in fundamental basketball before you make a pass?
it's it sucks because I think Wemby was having a good game. Um, he
Mm-hmm.
was kind of getting his rhythm back. Um, and he was bringing the Spurs back because I remember they were down by 10.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then Wemby, he was playing well, getting them back. I think he had like 10 points in a row or something like that. Um, but I just remember like you're so close, and then just to make that bad pass. And I know that's something that like you see in films all the time. It's just a simple pass. And I wonder
Right.
if like, he's 22. Did the pressure get to him, being so close to potentially winning this game and just the pressure got to him that made him make that terrible decision to make that pass? Um, or what went on there. And it
Yeah.
sucks because now when you think of this game, all you're gonna think is about that bad pass. You're not gonna
Yeah.
think about the game he had. You're just gonna think about he did that bad pass, which led to the loss.
Yeah, and that's the worst part too. Like you could have what 29 and 9, on an efficient 11 and 21, but all we're gonna think about is that behind the back. You know what I mean? And they always teach, make eye contact with your player before you make the pass. Like make sure y'all both see each other. But no, that was a tough pass. I mean, yeah, he should have just brought the ball up. I mean, he's been doing it, so like why not just bring the ball up? But I mean, he'll learn from it. He clearly did. I mean, with the game three that he had, but no, I mean. Stefan Casso, I mean, he got to be better. 5 of 14 is just not going to cut it. He definitely made up for it in game three. De'Aaron Fox, I mean, people comparing him like the Harden and stuff. I'm sure he saw that, you know what I mean, and came out and had a great game too. 8 of 12 from the field, very efficient, right? So, and I just love the resiliency. But one thing I do love is just like, you're on the road. I mean, well, you're in San Antonio, and it's a battle, right? Like it is a battle, but you're making it a battle, right? Like as a young, and I mean, I don't want to sound like you're like, I don't want to sound like I'm like cheering on losing, but like just in terms of the overall landscape of the team, and I mean, I'm gonna keep mentioning their age, just how young they are, and I mean, this is like kind of the first year of kind of like winning big, you know what I mean? So, like people always say they're like 2 years ahead. So for them to be this young and competing, and the Knicks, who's kind of been a playoff team for multiple years, like kind of having to kind of claw for wins, against this young squad, you've got to feel really good about the future. But I mean, there's also, I think as a young, and I'm sure they're learning this in the in this series, like you've got to value possessions, right? Like with that Wemby pass, or even just shot selection. Like you've got like with series like this, especially with team like a team as good as New York, like you've got to value possessions, and that could go for both teams as well. Because I mean, New York, you got to value possessions as well. Even though Spurs are young and inexperienced, like they're not scared. They're clearly not scared. You know what I mean? So you as New York, being the older team, you still got to also value possessions as well.
Yeah, and that just goes to show in valuing possessions how they allow the Spurs to come back. You know,
Right.
you're up by 10. You should kind of like, slow down the game. You're
Hmm.
playing a young team. You know they're gonna want to play fast. Just slow down the game. Get
Yeah.
it to the pace that you want.
Yeah.
And I think that could have helped them. And besides they won because of that bad pass. But if there wasn't that bad pass, we could have seen the Spurs literally be up 2-1 instead of being down 1-2. So
Right. Yeah, and I mean, and also I think it's good for New York, having, your role players kind of kick in as well, right? Like Jalen Brunson, even though he did have 20, it did take him 25 shots. I mean, well, it took him 25 shots to get to that 20, and then he only made seven of them, right? So you've also got to give credit to, San Antonio just on their clearly there is a game plan, to kind of limit his production. And I mean, it is working on some games, on some nights, right? So it worked for game two, right? But then also when New York, it shows how deep their team is, right? Like you have Mikal Bridges who could come in and give you who like comes in and gives you an efficient 20 points, right? Then you got Cat, who's like a top 10 player on that could be on any given night, potentially, right? Top 10, top 15, right? And then, OG Anunoby who can hit shots as well. So it was definitely a good night for the role players to kick in. But I mean, it was just a clawed out game, right? I mean, it was clear they only won by one. So I mean, it was just that type of back and forth game. I mean, of course, stuff for both teams to kind of get an advantage just because of just how, like you said earlier, just how competitive it is. Like this is a great, like this is probably one of the more. I mean, I don't know. It's probably one of the more like competitive finals I've seen in a little while. I mean, last year's finals wasn't that. I mean, it was okay, but like, of course, I guess Tyrese being there would have made it more competitive. But like, I mean, but this finals, I mean, it's both teams are healthy essentially. I mean, everybody's not 100%, of course, but like both teams are. Everybody's playing. Like, you know what I mean? So everybody's playing. So it's really no excuses in terms of injuries. You know what I mean? So you're really getting the best that each team has.
yeah, I want to touch back on you were talking about the role players of the Knicks, and
Hmm.
you touched on Cat. Cat had 21, and I want to give a shout out to Coach because in that post game interview, I think they specifically asked him about Cat's good game. And I think Coach said something along the lines of they sat down, they talked about how to incorporate Cat, and then Cat played, came back, they talked, and he admitted it falls on him as the coach to do the work working alongside with Cap, but he has to do the work to incorporate Cap to make sure that he's putting him in the best position possible. And I think it takes a lot for a coach there to admit, like, yeah, everything falls on me. Not blaming the player for like if he has a bad game or anything, but it falls on the coach to kind of know where to use his players and working along with them. And I think it was nice to kind of see that he took that responsibility. To admit that maybe at the beginning it wasn't working as it should, but that they went back, they talked about it, and he worked throughout the season to kind of put Cat in the spot for him to be more successful. And I think that goes a long way into realizing that the Knicks were on a 13 game winning streak straight through the playoffs. And I think being able to incorporate all of those little pieces by coaching, understanding that it's his job to do that, I think went a long way to that.
No, I agree. Yeah, I mean, that's gotta be music to your ears, right? Like, you know what I mean? It makes you wanna, like dig a little deeper, right? Those nights, like those nights where, it's a tough game and you're like dog tired, right? But you remember what coach said, in the press conference. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna empty out that reserves. Like, I'm gonna go deep into that reserve to kind of, give coach whatever I can, you know, for after hearing him like, stick up for me like that. So no, that is a great point. And I mean, yeah, you're right. Cat, he's definitely got and that's what it is, though. I mean, he described it. Like it can be on the player, but then it also is on the coach as well. Like, you know what I mean? To kind of and it shows like, and it's good to hear like, coaches that's like he's willing to coach. You know what I mean? Like he's willing. He's not only willing to admit his faults, but like he's willing to get it right. You know what I mean? Even at this point, in the NBA Finals, right? So, yeah, no, that's definitely good to see. But yeah, I mean, game two, it was a close one. You got anything else for game two?
No,
Then game four. I mean, game three. Well, not game four yet. Not yet. Oh, moving too fast. Slow, put it in reverse here. Game four. San Antonio is on the road. All right, in enemy territory. Okay, like you've got New York fans seeing a head coach and his wife and two kids yelling, and you're yelling at him Nixon four. You know what I mean? Like it's getting spooky, right? Like you're in enemy territory, right? Like you know what I mean? And you've got Knicks fans surrounding your team hotel. You know what I mean? Like it's tough, right? You're going against all these obstacles, right? And you know, and you come there and you get the dub, you get the win. In MSG, the first finals in MSG since I don't know how long. I don't know. When was the last
1999
1999. What? It's
against the Spurs.
27 years
Against the Spurs.
against the Spurs. What are the odds? Right? Um, but yeah, I mean, San Antonio comes in, gets the win, 115 to 111. Uh, I ain't finna hold you, bro. I mean, I didn't see too much besides the elbow to Wemby. I mean, not besides the elbow to Brunson from Wemby. I didn't really see Wemby do much bad this game. I mean, like he was great. And then Castle, bounced back from game two, very efficient, 8 of 14. But yeah, I mean, just go in. Just what are your thoughts? And I have a De'Aaron Fox question too. Once you're done too.
Okay. Thoughts. This is I don't know if this might be the first time ever. But maybe it's like, it's rare. That's the first in the first three games, the enemy team has walked in and won. The Knicks won both games in San Antonio. The Spurs won their game three in New York. Um,
Oh, wow.
so I don't know if like the first time that's been done, but I don't recall um for the first three games, the enemy team coming in and winning that game. I think that's very, very impressive. Because
Hmm.
you're winning in enemy territory. You come in to a place that everybody's against you, and you still pull everything out to win. Um, and the Spurs just to be able to come back, losing both games at home, facing all that adversity and being in New York that you were just talking about, and still keep locked in and focused and able to win, just tells a lot about the team, the coaching, to be able to go back and reset and understand, especially a young ass team like they are. It's pretty impressive that they were able to lock in for this game in that territory because everybody was against them. Everybody was against them.
Yeah, they're mentally tough, man. They're mentally for such a like. I mean, and I'm gonna keep saying like for such a young team. I mean, they're just mentally tough, man. They got it. And that I think that's just got to be coaching staff, right? Like they have the confidence they feel like they can win on any given night. Like they feel like they belong, right? Like it's no, oh, we're 2 years ahead. Like you know what I mean? Like, oh, we go 62-20. Oh, we're 2 years ahead of when we're supposed to go 62-20. Like, no, like this is supposed to happen. Like we were supposed to go 62-20. Like we put in the work in, we put the work in, you know what I mean? And the coaching staff put in the work and we're here now, right? So that marriage is working, right? So but no, I mean Wemby had an incredible game, came out strong, finished strong, 32 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Castle had a great game, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. I mean, and you've got to, I mean, you don't feel good, but you gotta feel good a little bit just because De'Aaron Fox and Dylan Harper didn't have great shooting nights, right? But they did, facilitate in other ways. I mean, Dylan Harper, he's a dog, right? Like even if his shot's not falling, I mean, he's gonna compete on both ends of the floor, right? And De'Aaron Fox, I mean, just to have that playmaker on the floor, even when his shot's not falling, I mean, that's valuable in itself as well. And I thought they were doing a better job of finding Wemby in the paint, right? And I thought, and I don't know if this was more of a adjustment, but it seemed like Wemby was kind of because it seemed like at times certain games like it would be outs outside in type of game, right? Like, he'll maybe be more perimeter oriented, kind of, just be more jump shot heavy, instead of maybe, waiting for lobs, you know what I mean, or even posting up, get and dominating the paint inside and getting those easy buckets near the rim when you're 7'5", and nobody's jumping with you, right? And then you kind of leak out a little bit and once you're feeling it, you start to stretch the floor out and bring the defense out to you, right? And hit some jumpers. So I thought was great. Like you love seeing that, four of his shots are threes. Like, and then the other 14 are 2 pointers. Like you love that. That's what you want because you don't really want him, out on the perimeter just jacking up threes and perimeter shots. Like that's not really going to help the team, Like him being near the rim, Fox getting in the middle of the defense and just throwing that lob, just throw it up near the rim. Like, and he's got it, right? So, and him and Castle, and even Harper, like the guards, they know that, right? So, I thought that worked really well for him tonight. Just Wemby dominating the paint, and I mean, it was working well for him. And you've gotta feel good. I mean, you know, you were up double digits. Of course, the Knicks are gonna come back. I mean, they're a great team, so they're gonna come back, right? But to weather that storm on the road in MSG, I mean, like they you gotta feel good.
Off of that, I got 2 points I want to make that to my head as as you were sharing your thoughts. First off, I think with the 1B being more in the paint, I think that was something that I wanted to see because yeah, he's very perimeter oriented sometimes, and you're 7'5", is you're big, get in the paint. It's
Hmm.
easy buckets for you. And I also think that because of that, um, it kind of shook the Knicks a little bit. I felt like in the fourth quarter, the Knicks were taking more jump shots um, than necessarily needed. I feel like all of their shots were kind of jump shots, and they were not trying to drive as much. And I think that just the presence of 1B could have probably affected that whatever game plan they had, or even how they went into this game in that fourth. And I think because they focused so much on jump shooting in that fourth and some of the third, I think that kind of led that those shots weren't landing, and eventually they lost. Um, but also to talk about Wemby a little bit, and it's something that I started thinking when I saw a specific play in the game. Um, I forgot who was guarding Wemby, but Wemby was in the perimeter. He was trying to do something to get some space. He couldn't get some space. The shot clock was going down. He gives it to, I think it was Castle, and Castle saved him because Castle shot a three and it went in. So Castle really saved him. So it kind of made me think, how good, like what? Obviously, Wemby's good. He's great defensively. He's 7'5", so he finds ways to score. But how good is Wemby's offensive bag really? When you
Mm.
get Wemby and you put with a good defender in front of him, can one be create enough space for him to be comfortable to shoot the ball? You know, can he
Mm,
create that? Because in that moment, when he panicked and passed it over to Castle when he saw the shot clock going down and he couldn't find anything, it made me think is Wemby's offensive bag not good, or is the Knicks defense that good?
mm. It's a great question. I mean, I think he's still developing, of course, right? You know, 22 years old. Uh, and I think that was something that's been like kind of spoken of a lot, like what's his go-to move? You know what I mean? Like kind of getting to the go-to, and that's what you hear from like some of the greats too. Like I think I even heard it from like Devin Booker in that video before. Like you gotta have like one or two, like really one move that's like for sure work, like for sure works. And then you kind of add on to that, you know what I mean? And then you build around that. So that one move for him, I'm not sure if that's really been established yet. I think he's just really just playing off pure talent right now, which is wild, and you're in the NBA finals and you're playing off pure talent, which is incredible. So, I mean, but that's true. There's definitely a lot of some work to be done on his offensive bag, but I think that's what like the importance of him kind of developing those post moves. You know what I mean? Like just some type of post moves or something, just getting comfortable in that paint. I think that will help his perimeter game a lot just because of just I think it will just help the team, but then also just help him kind of, just not only just kind of give him some confidence, but kind of I don't know. I think it'll help his perimeter game just when he starts more so on the inside. But that is a good point though. I mean, in terms of him, because that was a scary possession, and he can have moments where he can like get locked down, but yeah, nah, that's a good point though.
Um, I was just thinking when you're talking about like go to move, imagine if he developed like the cream like skyhook.
Yeah,
Imagine
something.
him at 7'5" just doing that skyhook.
Nobody's blocking that. Who's blocking that?
Nobody. No, he could go to the 3 point line and skyhook from the 3 point line. Or probably make it in.
Please. 3-point skyhook?
Bro, he's tall. That'd be crazy if we could get that.
I just need him to try that. Just one, not the finals, of course, not during the finals. But I just need him to try one. I just need him to try that
Crazy.
one game next year.
Just one
Just
game.
against the Wizards or something. Like
Just one
just
game.
try it.
I
Like
mean, you had Curry. His pregame workout was shooting like threes from like the bleachers.
yeah,
One Piece could be doing the skyhook off the 3 point line. Like, could be the same thing.
because like
Um,
he be doing some wild stuff. I don't remember if it was this series or was it OKC. I don't know if it was this series. Like he was kind of on the he was like maybe a couple feet from the paint and like he was in the mid range and he just jumped from the mid range and just dunked the ball. Like it was wild. Like he be doing some stuff that's just like it doesn't make sense. Like it really doesn't. But no, I mean one thing I wanted to bring up though, NBA All Star De'Aaron Fox, right? Like it seems like it's not like him having two back-to-back good games just seems a little bit tough. You know what I mean? And I don't know. And you wonder what the reason for that with a player. This is somebody who's averaged like what, 26, 27 points a game? Like, is that about right? Like maybe 26, yeah, he's had his career high is like 26. He's had seasons, averaging 23, 25 points a game, consistently, right? So the talent is there. Now, of course, it is a different role because you gotta defer to Castle sometimes. And you may have to defer to Dylan Harper sometimes. So you gotta share the rock. But you know, like what do you think it is that maybe he's not able to have back to back games? And even this game, he was ultra aggressive, which is what you want. But I think there were times where just the whole defense just collapsed on him, and he had about 3 or 4 shooters behind him. If he just maybe pivoted a little, if he just did a pivot or something and just kind of just passed out the Vassell or passed out the Castle, like I think those could have been like 2 or 3 easy buckets. I mean, but just I don't know. What's going on with him?
You gotta think since he's been in the league. Pretty sure he's only had one, maybe two winning seasons. Um,
Maybe. Yeah.
where the current coach of the Knicks. Um,
Hmm.
but you have to think maybe that plays something a little bit into it. Um, that he's only this is probably the first time that he's played like true winning basketball, even winning basketball at this level. It's his first time in the finals at this level. So I think maybe it's also just that adjustment of realizing that okay, you know, when the defense collapse on you or something, you don't have to be the man. You know, you have other teams supporting around you you could pass it to. Um and maybe he's going down a little bit. The regression sometimes can hit a player a little bit sooner than others. Um,
Mm.
maybe
Okay.
that could be for him. Because honestly, if you look at the Spurs, ask any Spurs fan who their big three are, it's very few that's gonna say Fox. It's gonna
Really?
be Wemby. It's gonna be Wemby. It's gonna be Harper, and it's gonna be Castle.
Oh, we gotta, I don't know, we gotta do a poll on that or something. That'll be interesting. But I don't,
Who,
yeah,
who would you take out? Who would you put Fox over?
uh, maybe Harper.
Maybe Harper. All right, that's gonna be
Oh,
the
wait,
poll.
did you say Harper or Vassell for your big three?
Harper.
Oh, you say
Harper
Harper.
or Wemby. So that'll be the poll. We're gonna do that one on Instagram. We're gonna do
Yeah,
Wemby, Harper, Castle, Wemby,
yeah,
Castle, Fox, and see which one wins.
yeah. Because it's like I mean, I will only say with Fox just because he's done it his whole career. You know what I mean? Like he's been the guy his whole career. He's put up
But
numbers.
not at that level. That's the
Level.
thing. Not at
Yeah.
that level. And you compare that to Dylan Harper, who has come in and already made a huge impact as a rookie. You kind of have
Hold
to
on,
put it in
hold on,
perspective.
hold on. Are you telling me? Oh, I mean, let me take it out. Let me take it. Let me clear out my ears. Are you telling me that Harper's impact has been greater than Fox's impact? Is that what you're telling me right now? Is that what you're telling me right now?
Listen, 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 listen.
Mm,
Let's remember. Let's remember in the OKC series, that defense that Harper was playing was pretty good. Pretty good. I do
indeed.
believe Harper has the potential to be better than Fox,
Oh, he does. He
and
does
by
for
a
sure.
good margin. By a good margin, not just better, by a good margin. That's all I'm
Now
saying.
I wonder. That leads me to another question because he is a dog. What I like about Harper though is like he plays with a sense of fearlessness. Like he's confident. Like even like he was 5 of 18. Like I wouldn't have really known that. You know what I mean? Just from his overall impact on both ends of the floor, right? Now my question with Harper is he is a rookie, right? You know what I mean? And he now we've seen De'Aaron Fox's track record, just from throughout his season. Now, yes, they didn't win a lot, but he has put up 27 points with a game in what is supposed to be the best league in the world, right? So he did do that, you know? He did. Those numbers aren't, fictional, right? Now, you two, how long do you think Harper needs? You know what I mean? And by needs, I mean like, do you just judge it by what Fox did this weekend? Like, do you just grade him away? Like how much is Harper ready now? You know what I mean? Like, or because I don't know, because I don't know if you really want
The
to
biggest,
rush him into a starting spot. You know what I mean? Because once he's in there, like he's in there.
in my
Pause.
opinion, sometimes I feel like the biggest skill that Fox has, that's a big hindrance to both Castle and Harper, is control of the ball. Um, when they are the primary ball handlers, sometimes they tend to cause a lot of turnovers. And I think that Fox, with his time being in the league, with his time being the guy it was the Kings, um, he had to focus a lot of that ball control and not making those turnovers. So I think that's his biggest. impact on the Spurs that he's able to control that ball a little bit more. Um, so that's where I think his biggest impact is there. And that's where I think Harper and Castle need to work on and develop more to where the point where maybe once that's developed, the Spurs could be like, okay, we're comfortable with these two over Pac.
Okay. So I think that could probably I think they maybe need 1 year, like just one more full year of this, of just this culture, of just getting this finals experience and then kind of taking that into a next year. Then you kind of see where Harper's at. You see where Castle's at in terms of their mental, in terms of just their mental plays, like you know what I mean? Like see how ready they are and then 'cause I think that's great to have Fox as well as kind of like a security blanket, right? Like, because this is a guy who's produced in the league, right? Like, he's produced, you know, what I mean, great numbers, right? Like all-star numbers. So to have that, but then also have two young, talented guards, like you're in a luxury. Like, if you're the Spurs, like this is like you're in a great, great position, right? And then you have a 7-5 who's just playing off pure talent, you know, like not really a go-to move yet. Like, you know what I mean? So he'll be better, right? He seems to have the right mentality to be great. So Spurs are they're looking good. I mean, but yeah, I'm curious to see what's gonna happen game four. I mean, what are your thoughts on game four? Like, is this gonna be tied up? Like, you know what I mean? I mean, I know it's going game six. I know for sure, but I mean,
Before we talk about our thoughts on Game Four,
oh, my bad, my
um,
bad. I'm jumping the gun. I'm jumping the gun.
I feel like I wanted to give a shout out. You were mentioning how fearless Harper is sometimes. Um, gotta give a shout out to OG Anunoby. Just his defense this series has been absolutely incredible. Um,
Incredible.
there was a lot of times where he wasn't scared of Wemby at all, whether to guard him or to go at him. What if he had 28 last game? I think it was. Um,
Hmm.
so he's a big, huge part of the Knicks and what they're able to do. Because he provides it on both ends of the floor. And sometimes he's more low key, personality wise. So I think some people tend to forget about him. But you can't forget about that man. He has great games. He provides good defense for the team, and that's just another big part of why the Knicks are up to 2-1.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was great. Like I agree. And even he has some like he's a fearless defender as well. Like he's somebody that could guard Wemby too, right? Just with how strong he is. And how laterally efficient he is, right? So I mean, he was great. And then when he's hitting his shots, when he's hitting his jumpers, like I mean, it's great. I mean, he was hitting some tough. I mean, just those corner jumpers, like he was just hitting some tough off the dribble jumper. Like he has game too, right? So it's like, it's great to have that defensive impact, but then also, you have him on the offensive end, hitting some timely shots as well. And and this is a game where, Mikal Bridges had an off night, right? Like it really wasn't his night. But you step up and you kind of give your team some good points, but and then result in a win. But no, I mean it was a great game from him though.
And I think
Yes.
the Knicks. I'll go ahead.
No, no, you go.
I was just gonna say how the Knicks team, it looks like the Spurs are focusing a lot on Brunson. Sometimes
As
Brunson's gonna try to do those jump shots to try to shoot, and I think the
as they
Spurs
should.
understand that that's the guy of the Knicks that they're gonna go after him. So now you got to look into your key players to kind of step up and kind of take that pressure off of Brunson. And I think last game OG did a good job of that. So I want to see some of Cat did it, the previous game. So we kind of need more of that from the rest of the mix.
Yeah, it's Brunson, man. He gets his shots up. Like he's gonna get it, but he's good. If you're, I mean, hopefully you don't really gamble like that, but if you do, like Brunson over 20 attempts, like just lock it in, like every night, like it's happening. I mean, but Cat wasn't really there. 4 of 10 from the field, 11 points. So I mean, it's gonna take a village for sure, but no, I mean, it was a great game by Spurs. I think just more. I mean, of course they made more shots, but I think it was just like more. It was more good performances from the Spurs than I think the Knicks. You know what I mean? And just Spurs gotta stack them. You just gotta stack this performance. With another good one.
Knicks better get it together and win game four at home. So them Knicks
Yeah,
fans ain't gonna be happy if you don't win game four at home. They
I think
dying for
they
that game.
I think they win game four, and then Spurs win game five at home, and then the Knicks probably gonna win game six. At the crib. Oh
I
man,
like them. I like
I can
that.
see that. I can see that. Tell you, bro, them game six tickets is crazy. Then again, though, I don't know. They're marketing game seven tickets at about 9,000. So I don't know.
9,000
9,000, bro.
for San
Where they get
Antonio?
where they getting these numbers from, bro?
That's kind of crazy. That's kind of
Where they getting
crazy.
these numbers? It's a game seven though, I guess. So they're gonna. Wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, yeah, because Tuesday, allegedly Tuesday. Yeah, if it does happen Tuesday, yeah, 9,000. I guess because it's the
Crazy.
last game, blah blah blah. So yeah, 9,000 Buckaroos, man.
That's crazy. Out of this world.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Actually, no, I don't know if that's right though. Why are they showing it as game six? No, that's game six. My bad, bro. That's game six,
That's
bro.
still crazy.
But
Still
yeah, that's
crazy.
yeah. MSG is the expensive one. Yeah. So it's
Mm.
definitely going to game six, bro. It's definitely going to
People
game six.
people were talking how it's cheaper to like fly out to San Antonio, watch the game, get a hotel, get a five-star hotel, a five-star course meal, like watch the game, and then fly back to New York. It's cheaper than buying nosebleed seats at Madison Square Garden. It's kind of crazy.
That's bad, bro. Like that's bad. You telling me a dude could like do a whole food review, eat some burrito tacos, some goddamn hot chicken sandwiches, goddamn, and then he still like he had some good seats too. He was like I think first or second level, like it was some good seats. So yeah, man. So yes, for sure going to game six. I think the Knicks get the win at home tonight. Just to kind of establish their dominance again. What are you seeing? You seeing something different? What?
No, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah. Do you think the Spurs? Of course, they have a chance. Is there a world where the Spurs? I mean, of course, there could be. I mean, it's possible, but do the Spurs win this series? Like what do you think? Well, and if they do, well, and what? Or maybe a better question is, what do they have to do to win this series? Maybe that's a better question.
The same thing they did in Game Three. Just repeat it, and you got it.
Simple as that. Simple as
But
that.
it takes a big game out of 1B for them to win, so it's
That's
difficult.
what I mean, bro. When he's like playing at like a all elite level, like they're nearly unbeatable, like nearly. Like it's gonna be a less than a five or under game. Like it's gonna be within 5 points the game. Like it's not gonna be a blowout if he's playing how he's playing. Like that, it just seems like everybody else. Seems like that just does everything that like everybody does something to everybody else except De'Aaron Fox. But like it just does something to like everybody. Like you know what I mean?
The Spurs do gotta figure out how to score outside of 1B though. Efficiently score outside of 1B. If they want to win. That's one of the
Yeah.
things. You can't expect 1B to play at like the elite at the league, 2013 LeBron type of games for them to win. You know, you gotta rely on some of your stars
I wonder if they
offensively.
should kind of. I don't know if the right word is stack their minutes. Like I think maybe they should incorporate some periods where Wemby's not on the floor with Fox, and Fox could just kind of just take over. Like you know what I mean, in a sense. But you need Wemby out there though. Like he's got to be out there. So it's like that's kind of a tough ask, because you gotta have your best player out there. But like but then you also need Fox. Like Fox will be a great addition. Like if he plays at what he's really capable of playing at every night. Like you know what I mean. So I don't know.
You know what's another thing the Spurs have to do if they want to win?
Play
One
Bismack
B,
Biyombo.
that's crazy. 1B. Wemby needs to, keep his hands to himself and not smack any more people across the
That was
head.
crazy. That was wild.
Before he gets suspended for one of the games.
That was
So
wild. What were you thinking? First the
yeah,
Jared McCain foul, then this. Like he's I don't know. I don't know, man.
I don't know, I don't know
Trying
what
to
they
bring
were
back that
thinking.
bad boys era.
Wrong team, wrong team. It was the Spurs. Fundamental basketball.
I mean, I kind of like it, but then it's like I wouldn't like it if that was me though. So I can't say it like I like it. But like, yeah, nah, that's out of pocket. I ain't for no. It's out of pocket. You gotta chill. Because I don't know, it's interesting because he has the chance to kind of be the, or maybe he just got some stuff to him. Like maybe he just got that side to him. Like maybe that competitive. He has like a competitive edge to where like he'll do some stuff like some antics type stuff. But that was crazy. Yeah, the elbow to the back of the head is crazy. That's
Yeah,
wild.
yeah,
Yeah, do better. Do better, Wimpy. Do better.
yeah.
Yeah. But nah, I mean, you got anything else?
Nope.
Well, appreciate y'all tuning in up until this point. Thank you for watching the whole video. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Follow us on all our social medias. And we'll catch you in the next video. We out.